Shut up and sit down.
Hello and welcome to This Is Ibrox, the Rangers podcast, where I, William Boyd, chat to former Rangers captain and Hall of Famer Lorenzo Amoruso. Hello, how are you getting on?
I'm not too bad, my friend, not too bad. It's just like anybody else in this world at the moment, lockdown, especially down in Italy. The coronavirus is doing a lot of damage in this world to everyone, single, family, and of course, all the population, because so many people died, so many people are affected. But most of all, what is really frustrating is, which probably I don't wish to anyone and nobody else to experience what we are doing now, what we experience now, losing our freedom, because that's just the worst part of it. We can't do whatever we want. That's something that we used to have it, and probably we never been thinking how lucky we were in this world.
Yeah.
And now that we are locked down, you can be rich, you can be anyone you like, but still you need to stay at home all the time.
Yeah.
In my case, it's even worse because although I have a lovely garden, but I'm alone. My girlfriend, she's in Rome, so quite far from me. It's already more than 7 weeks that I don't see her. I mean, I see her just on chat.
Yeah.
Of course, so it's not easy. It's not easy for anyone, but I think we will go over it, and we're gonna get stronger and stronger again after this epidemic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very difficult time we find ourselves in. It must be a bit more difficult with being yourself. I mean,
Well, my dog will be the only one happy because she's me here basically every day, and he's definitely happy to see me every hour of the day. Yeah, absolutely, 24 hours a day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. The dog won't know what's happening when you've been there all the time. So how was your upbringing in Italy with football?
To be fair, my opinion is that football should be just completely stopped. Although it's a massive income for the government and for so many people, but I think the risk to the 14th of March that basically we had, we still had 260 people dead, which is still a lot. But compared with yesterday, for example, and before yesterday, again, yesterday we were around 500 and the day before 600. So today, 260. Things looks they are getting better, but of course it's not easy. So I think football should realize that we are not playing a normal game here. We are playing live game.
Yeah.
And if there is even 0.001% the chance to get involved again in this virus, I think everything should be just stopped. I mean, not even started again, and started all over again eventually in August, when probably, let's hope, everything will be down the line. I'm not saying we're going to go back again where we were, but at least we should be much, much better, because we are basically end of April, almost May, June, July, 3 months. I think down the line more. I really hope everything will be sorted in the right way, in a good way for everyone in this world. So my opinion is that the football shouldn't restart again. I read something today about UEFA saying that the deadline will be the 25th of May, basically, and until just the 25th of May. All the countries should decide if they're going to start the season again. Otherwise, will be no chance. And to be fair, I think it's a good decision, because if there are so many cases like in Italy yet, because the case is still 2,000, 3,000 every day yet, I think it's not good, especially because most of the teams that they are involved in, especially in the Premier League, well, Serie A, whatever you want to call it in Italy, there are dislocated between the areas where the virus is still very high there. We're talking about Milan, we're talking about Turin, we're talking about Verona, all the Veneto, Lombardy, and Piemonte. Those are the areas where the virus is destroying people, families, and so I think if there is 100% chance that no one will get hurted again, or we are not going back the way, then whatever, do it. But otherwise, my idea is completely stop it, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. We are talking about lives here. We are not talking about just a football kick. We are talking about lives. That's something that people probably, although there are, as I said, there are so much money involved, they keep forgetting that I think more than 200,000 people died in this world. Yeah, which is absolutely crazy, to be fair.
Yeah, so. It is. Yeah, I've seen a couple of kind of videos from Italy on Twitter and that, and it doesn't look good. And that was just before it kind of peaked here in Britain, and it started doing kind of similar devastation to our country as well, which is, it's not good to see. But hopefully everybody follows the restrictions that are in place, and hopefully we can get back to playing football and having everybody nice and safe as well. But moving on to your footballing career, you were picked up by Bari, I think.
From Fiorentina, actually, when I joined from Rangers. Yeah, when I joined Rangers, I used to play for Fiorentina.
No, sorry, it was... did you start at Bari? When you were a youngster?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood the question. Yeah. I started in Bari, which is my hometown as well. Yeah, I started there as a young child. Become a professional there at the age of 17. It's like a dream come true. Just absolutely wonderful. Although it's not been very easy, because at that time the south of Italy was not even easy to get the chance to become a professional footballer, because there were not a lot of football structure. The lifestyle is quite dangerous in the south of Italy, so it was very difficult. I mean, don't get me wrong, my family is a normal family. My holy dad used to work on his own, just to make our life easier and better. My mom used to stay home, cooking, do all the things that a mom home should do. My brother and my sister, with me, we try to give them, when we get, hold a bit of satisfaction studying, and on my case especially also to become a professional footballer, give them the chance to enjoy their life. My dad didn't really enjoy much because he died 4 years ago. So it was quite young, considering the age of 75. I don't think the age is very old, but whatever. I just really hope that he enjoyed his life after, what I became, what I did for the family, for him. And Bari still in my heart. My family is still living down there. I live in Florence because I had to choose, because the business, the work, and moving also between Italy and Scotland. Most of the time, Florence is much easier than Bari, especially at that time when I used to play for Rangers. So I decided to live in Florence, where I've got so many friends, so many people that they still love me. And that's plus Florence is an absolutely gorgeous city, to be fair.
Yeah. So, as you said, you came through the kind of Bari system. You got a couple of professional appearances, quite a few, and then you got your big move to Fiorentina, ended up in Florence, as you've just been describing. But a big point that I wanted to touch on was you reached the semi-final of the Cup Winners' Cup. What was that like, coming up against some of the top class talent that they had? Like, I think a few of them was Ronaldo, Figo, and Guardiola was there as well, you know, the Man City manager. How was that coming up against those players?
It was not easy because we knew that they were fantastic. But we, especially on the first leg, we managed to go in Barcelona, drew the game 1 each. But we felt that the referee didn't really help us because Batistuta, for a normal fault during the game, was booked. He was already ready to get sent off because game suspension, because accumulation of yellow card. And at the first kick, basically, was even a kick, was a shoulder charge or whatever. He was basically yellow carded, and then of course he missed the return match in Florence. But we felt that with a decent referee, probably we should have gone through. I mean, don't get me wrong. That team, Ronaldo, Figo, Guardiola, Stoichkov, they had so many unbelievable players there. But so we, because when you're talking about Fiorentina, you're talking about people like Batistuta, Rui Costa, Oliveira, myself, Toldo, goalkeeper. So we were a very good team either. The return game, we felt from the first minute that the referee wanted really to give a direction to that game, because after 15 minutes, our striker Oliveira was sent off for simulation, which at that time was not even something common. But what can you do? That's how we felt it, and whatever, nothing we could do about it. But it was basically the first step. That 2 games, they were the first 2 steps to get me closer to Rangers, because I found out after a little while that Ewan Chester, which was at that time the chief scout for Rangers, and Walter Smith, of course. I think Walter, just on return leg in Italy, came to see me to take a decision if they wanted to make an offer to Fiorentina or not. So I found out basically after a little while when I was already at Rangers.
Yeah. So as you were saying, Walter Smith brought you to Rangers. You and Chester must have kind of headhunted you and found you out, and that was in 1997. A nice transfer fee there as well.
I just knew that later. Of course, those are things that after a few years. But the only thing I knew through my agent was that there were few British clubs that were looking for me at the time. Because I was performing very well. I was almost ready to debut also with my national team, because I had a chat with the manager and the national team. Of course, after it didn't go through because I had the injury, blah, 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 blah. It's a very long story. But the first approach that officially, some ways, Rangers had with Fiorentina was straight after the Barcelona games. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I think Walter Smith was going to bring you in to replace Richard Goff, but as you said, their injury ruled you out. But how was that mentally to deal with, just joining a new club and then being out for nearly a year?
I was devastated.
Yeah.
I was devastated because basically I knew, because I played with this injury through the season. So I knew that by the end of that season, I would have had this, on the paper, supposed to be a very small operation. And when there was this basic interest from Rangers, the first thing I did was to speak with Walter Smith and the chairman at this time, David Maria. Said, listen, I don't know if the deal will go through, but you should know that I have this problem on my heels, and I need to deal with it, because I can't go another season doing injection and having no good preparation, because sometimes it was so painful I couldn't. And they said, no, we know that already, but we would like to use our specialist, our doctor, of course, and our specialist to take care of it. And to be fair, after I signed the contract, I didn't feel right to say to them, listen, Chuck, I go where I want, because that was my right. Because it's your career, you can go wherever you want to get this operation done. But at that time, they'd be spending a lot of money to get me there. And I felt a bit not awkward, to say, no, wait, I'll do what I want. It was not nice. So I trusted, of course, Ranger specialist, but honestly, he made horrible things there because not once, but twice, basically, he messed up everything, my Achilles, till basically was middle of August, maybe, middle of August. I couldn't even walk. My shoe size, think about it, was 42 and a half at the time. To walk with a normal shoe, I had to wear 45.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't even have a normal shoe because it was so strong, the pain, that I couldn't really walk with a normal shoe. So I had to wear like 45 because at least there was a bit of space, and then in this case, there was no good enough. And then I said to Walter, I had enough now because I started to feel really worrying for my career.
Yeah.
Because when you wake up in the morning and you can't even put your foot down without feeling pain, that's something concerning about everything, And Walter, of course, was keen to say, Lorenzo, don't you worry. Do what you want before you come back, before, everybody was going to be happy, like me and the club as well. So I went back originally to my first doctor visit down in Antwerp. And of course, when he saw me, said, Lorenzo, you will go back to play football. But to be fair, I don't like to speak bad against another doctor, but what he did here is absolutely a mess. He didn't understand what the problem was. So you will go back to play football again, but of course will take time because the place there, the heels, the Achilles tendon, in this case, is even worse than when I saw you months ago. So basically said, that was end of August, more or less. Said to me, we can get an operation even in the next few days, but you're not going to be ready before March, April, more or less. That was the date. So considering that I signed for Rangers in May, we're talking about almost a year, by the way. And although I wasn't really happy, but I said, yeah, okay, let's go through. I stayed there and I got the operation basically the very next day. And everything went okay, but it was a nightmare, actually. It was a nightmare because it's frustrating when everybody is waiting for you, when, the club, the supporters, everyone was looking to see you play. I was able to play just a couple half friendlies, one in Ibrox between us, basically, and like another 60 minutes in Everton away game in Liverpool for the testimonial match. But of course, even those games, they were not good enough for me because the pain was getting over and over through my brain, actually, and I couldn't really perform. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it kind of started to affect you. So especially if you've had a couple of operations, that must be really tough to try and kind of focus on it, like, try to put it to the back of your mind as well.
It is the worst start you can have.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was really, it was really frustrating, the whole thing. But saying that, in some ways, I was a bit clever, in some ways lucky also, using that kind of not playing role to use and to steal from the dressing room, from that dressing room, for the players, what was the meaning to play for Rangers, to how to adapt that kind of new culture, new football, new language. So everything was, I used that time basically to improve myself, to fix properly myself in that kind of new adventure. And after so many years, I can tell you, don't get me wrong, I would have preferred to play on the field, that's for sure. But at least I used that spare time, because I couldn't do anything else at the moment, to understand what was really the meaning of wearing that Ranger top, which which is not a common thing because so many good players, came in Scotland and they failed because it's not easy. It's not easy to wear the jersey. I said many times that jersey can be a jersey, but has an important weight, and not everyone can really bring that shirt with pride, with honor, and respect all the history that jersey has on his back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a massive weight to kind of carry, as you were saying there. But moving on to kind of when you finally got to play, if I'm not mistaken, you had a kind of ropey relationship with the fans to begin with. Do you think that was kind of put down to your injuries? You finding it maybe difficult to come in?
Well, actually, my debut, it was absolutely perfect because my debut was against Celtic, semi-final against Celtic in the semi-final for the Scottish Cup. That season didn't go well because that was the season of the 10 in a row. My debut was absolutely wonderful, though, because we won 2-1 at Celtic Park, so it was absolutely wonderful. The very next day was against Celtic again, and we won home 2-0 league game. So everything was looking great. Then, of course, the season decided wanted to go wrong, and things were, I don't understand why. I still even now don't remember why we lost the game in Aberdeen. We lost home against Kilmarnock. We thrown basically the chance to win the 10 in a row that season. But I still thinking that those 5 games I played, basically, they were games that were played just with adrenaline. The whole adrenaline that I was accumulating during the injury time. The very next season, everything changed there. New manager came in, so many new players. And from the preseason already, I didn't really feel well. I think my body needed time to get match fitness ready. In fact, during the beginning of that season, I really didn't play well. I was finding my legs heavy, not really sharp like I'm supposed to be. And of course, some supporters starting to boo me. But I think that most of the problems were starting from the point that Advocat made me captain there. And not all of the press, but most part of the press didn't really like that. As a Catholic and Italian man, becoming Ranger captain at that time was like an insult for the club and for the supporters. And the press starting to not giving me the right attention in some ways. Well, they were trying to deliberately make me look stupid in so many other situations. They were chasing me for anything. If we were getting a good result, okay, was normal. If we were losing games or not playing well, it was Lorenzo's fault, which I don't think is fair because at the end of the day, we are a team squad. We win and we lose together. So whatever. But so I started to feel, well, my performances, to be honest, they were not really great because, as I said, I was not really sharp enough to stay at that level. But that was part of the injury. I found out that after, few months, I started to get better and better. But the only way I had to get better was playing, and of course, giving my 120% every day, not just in game, but also in training. And that's what I did, because that was the only answer I could give to everyone, the field. Going there and show everybody what I was capable of, because I was not happy with me as well for the way I was performing, but I knew that sooner or later I would have come back at my level. And most of all, I knew that that player that was playing there, it was really the proper Lorenzo. It was Lorenzo, but not 100%. Of course, most of the supporters, they didn't really know me much, or they saw me play in Italy not many times. So they started to think, what the hell player we've got here? And so the only thing I had to do, it was working harder every day. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And then after a few months, of course, my performances, my condition, my mental condition, most of all, my body condition started to get better and better. And then I started to play much better.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, just a few months after the season had started, it was November 1998, and you got your first trophy and a 2-1 win over St Johnstone. Can you remember the match? Yeah.
Difficult match, actually. Difficult match because it was the first final. Well, the whole season for us, although we end up winning everything in Scotland, the treble, but it was an increasing season where basically we didn't start well as well because we lost, I think, I was there actually because I was suspended. But we lost the first game the first league game against Hearts away from home. Then the first pre-qualification UEFA Cup game against Shelburne, 10 minutes down, half-time, we were, after half-time, in the second half, we were 3-0 down. And of course, we managed to win that game 5-3. But that says enough how much the team wasn't really 100% because we changed so many players that season. And when you change so many players, it's quite difficult to make things going, gel together and go in the right way. Because, first of all, we were full of foreign players. Some of those couldn't even understand and speak proper English, like Gabriel Amato or others. So that was the first problem. Second, players like Arthur Newman, for example, he came very late in that season because he had to play the World Cup. And so also for Arthur, it was not easy to come back and get the fitness back at that level. So it was not really easy. Our performances, they were not really the best. Me, first of all. But of course, we had just one way to improve it. Just play as much as we can, winning games, even in a bad way, not performing great. But if you win, you can really work on and things that can get better and better. And that's what we did. We end up basically that season in great style, winning, but also playing very good football because that's what we did basically.
Yeah, you absolutely did. You. I remember some games, try to think back who the game was against. Is it Borussia Dortmund maybe? And I think it's like tiki-taka kind of football, loads of passing all the way up in the build-up.
Yeah, that was probably, I don't remember if it was that season or the next season, but we had very good game. Well, my game that I still remember and drives me crazy even now when I'm thinking about is Bayern de Monaco, Bayern Munich. That's something unbelievable. Home, we drew one each. They equalized on deflected free kick, like 5 minutes to go, basically. And the whole game we were cruising. We scored with George Albert. We could have scored another 2 or 3, and then we couldn't really score more. And they scored basically by the end of the game. Away from home, exactly the same. We had so many chances. Best player on the pitch was their goalkeeper, Khan. We got a bad injury for us and for Michael Maltz as well. But we could go through their line there. We had like 5 posts, crossbars, so many chances. Honestly, that game is something that drives me crazy even now when I'm thinking about that game. That's something crazy. That was Champions League. The only thing I remember properly was straight after the game, Beckenbauer, at that time, I don't know if he's still working for Bayern Munich now. At that time, he said, an interview basically in TV, he was saying, well, we are through, of course, but we are very lucky to go through. We are very happy, But we've been very lucky, and the only team today that really deserved to win this game was Rangers, because they played absolutely well, and we've been very, very lucky. So that says enough how good we were. But unfortunately, sometimes to get there, you need to have a bit of luck as well, which we didn't really have in that period of the season as well.
Yeah, absolutely. My dad used to always say to me, you can beat a good team, but you can't beat a lucky team.
That's right.
Yeah. So what was Dick Advocat like in that kind of period as well, when you were away going to Europe and stuff like that? What was he like during those times?
Well, Advocat was basically a manager that made straight rules, not easy rules, in some ways stupid rules, but it was his way to coach, which could be good, especially in the beginning when you change so many things and making things straight from the first minute.
Yeah.
But going on and on, I think those rules were getting really frustrating for everyone, because it was like being in school, basically, in some ways.
Yeah.
I'm doing some example now, like you couldn't start eating after training or in pre-season until he was saying, enjoy your meal. Whatever. You need to wait him all together there, whatever. Okay, can understand that. Fine. You couldn't wear colored boots, which is quite understandable. Maybe not, maybe yes. But for example, Gabriel Amato had his own sponsor, which was a Spanish company, giving him money because he used wearing these white boots, and he didn't like it. Or for example, during the training, you couldn't use your Bermuda, no, or a tracksuit, or whatever, even a hat. Couldn't wear it. I mean, you were saying you wear it if everybody else wear it. So everyone should look exactly the same, which is insane. It's crazy. It's stupid. In pre-season, for example, when you're starting to use new boots, you're trying new boots for new sponsor for the season, your feet getting blisters, they are quite sore at the beginning. So you like to go around when you are not training, of course, with flip-flops, or no socks, shorts, whatever. And for him it was crazy. He said no, everyone with his socks, everyone without whatever. No, the top should be inside the trousers. There were so many rules, the stupid rules that they were like child. So in the beginning, we really did accept them because it was just the beginning. But after a little while, we knew that those rules that were for kids, were not for players. I mean, don't get me wrong. If there is a dressing room there needs to be ruled in a good way, some rules are fine. But when you don't need them, it's why you need to be stupid. Or, for example, when we used to travel airport or bus most of the time, we couldn't use mobile phone on the bus. Sometimes you need to phone your girlfriend, your wife, your mom, your dad, your kids eventually. You couldn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are rules that, in some ways, in the long term, making things getting worse and worse. You know what I mean? So, till you were winning, everything was understandable and fine. When the things started to get worse, of course, even stupid rules like wearing your wet top or not, everyone should wear the wet top or not, started to get really a problem. And then the dressing room started to fall apart.
And you ended up clashing with Dick Advocat during kind of that time?
I didn't really clash with him. The third season of Advocat, basically, we were not really performing well, for sure. But his behavior with us was like taking a distance, you know. So what I was saying is, I was trying to, most of all, to react and dress them maybe even louder, but to make my teammates, you know, get up for it and, you know, just go on the field and start to run, to play and perform properly. And then, of course, when I realized that we were not really doing what Advocate was asking to us, I went to him and said, listen, there are things here that we need to be sorted between the team and you, because you are telling us to do something we are not doing so. So the problem is, oh, you're not explaining properly, or we don't understand properly. So in some ways, he made for himself, I think, a good escape, like saying, well, I don't like the way you've been talking recently. At that time, I had a problem with my girlfriend. Actually, I broke up with my girlfriend, and the press was jumping on me. They were following me everywhere just to find out if I was involved in other situation, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And he said to me, no, you know, because I think the press is jumping on you in this moment, so I don't think you should be the captain anymore of this team. Because I said, what? Nothing to do with what is my private life, or what is when I don't. If you don't feel right that I'm not playing well, you drop me on the bench. That's a different story. But private life is nothing to do. Even because I said to him, I don't need the armband to perform on the pitch. I always been that way. I always will be. Lorenzo was like that last year. 2 years ago, we were winning as well, because I don't like to lose. I don't really like to even drop a goal, even if we win 6-1. I don't like to drop a goal whatsoever. That's the way I am. Can be good enough or bad enough. I don't care. That's the way I am. But then, of course, I started to feel that he was trying to save himself, because, of course, he was under pressure as well, because the press started to realize that he was complaining with everybody. Players, the pitch, the referees, the supporters. He was complaining with everyone. He was complaining also with the ladies from the kitchen for the food they were making. Honestly, it was a joke. It was a joke, honestly, sometimes. And the press started to understand that he never once mentioned the fact that probably the team wasn't performing well because he was not doing things right at that moment. So basically, when he said to me, Lorenzo, I don't think you're going to be the captain again in this team, I said, you know what? This is the armband. Fuck you. If you want me to play, I'll play. But from now on, I'm not going to respect you anymore as a human being. That's it. I'm off. And that's what I did. Of course, I phoned my agent saying, get me out here now, because I can't really stand anymore with this person here. That's not a manager. This is just a bad man managing. You can't blame just one player for the bad result you are having. No chance. That's absolutely wrong. Plus, what he did worst in my scenario, in my brain, is that normally in this situation, you're trying to give the armband to someone who's got experience, someone who's got, a good reliability about playing so many games. And in our team, we had players like George Albert, Stefan Klos, Arthur Newman, experienced player, very good experienced player. What he did was give the armband to Barry Ferguson. Don't get me wrong, great player. But at that time, Barry was very young. He was very young. And give the armband to young players would have made him probably feel under pressure, would have given him so much responsibility and problems, because that's what could have been. So then I realized that he was trying to save his own ass, because giving the armband to Barry Ferguson was like, all right, I throw Barry Ferguson through the eyes of the press. Everybody's going to be happy because he's Scottish, because he's young players, blah, 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 blah. So for at least 2-3 weeks, I'm going to be okay. They were talking about Barry Ferguson captain. And on the other side, Lorenzo's not captain anymore. So
Yeah.
he was giving away, throwing the pressure on me, on Barry, on the team, but keeping away from him, which after so many years, because I'm a manager now, I'm not coaching, but I'm a manager because I've got all the badges. I understand that is absolutely the opposite how a good manager should do.
Yeah.
That's so the relationship after that, the situation basically didn't go through anymore. I
Yeah.
mean, it was just like good morning, good evening. In
Yeah.
fact, what I didn't really like about him anymore was the fact that he was using me, keep still doing regularly every fucking day, every fucking game. He used to put me on the field, which was quite controversial, because if you don't like the way I act, the way I play, you drop me
Yeah.
on the bench, and that was something that I really liked from him at all.
Yeah. No, that's not really too good. And I think when you were on the phone to the agent, I think there were a few kind of clubs down south in England that were kind of interested in you. Were there ever any that was close to really coming through?
Well, not really. I knew there was something in England, but officially there was nothing.
Yeah.
Basically, the real problem was that at that time Rangers started to get financial problems.
Yeah.
It was quite difficult time. David Murray just stepped off a bit, and Joe McClellan took his place, tried to make things working better financially for the club. I had 1 year left my contract with Rangers. Things were going well because Advocat was gone. Of course, Archie McLeish took over and brought us to win a double the first season, another double basically right away, almost there, because in the league we were cruising. But 1 month, more or less, a month before the end of that season, Alec, straight after training, actually, I was going home, just rings me up saying, Lorenzo, are you going home? I say, yeah, I'm going home, boss. What's wrong? Listen, I need to talk to you. Can I come to visit you at home? I say, yeah, why not? So he came. And he said to me, Lorenzo, it's not your manager who's talking to you now. It's like, see me like an older brother. I know that you have from England, some clubs are looking for you. Well, I said, listen, officially nothing. I know that someone is just trying to contact my agent, but officially there's nothing there. He said, well, listen, the club is not going to offer you a new contract because we got serious financial problems and we are not going to give to you another contract.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm telling you, if you really want to go, and if you have a good offer, just take it because we need a bit of money. We can sell you and we get a bit of money. Plus, this one could be your last important contract. So a very older brother, I tell you, get a chance and think about your career because here the situation is not very good. Now, through my mind, I really... I was at that age, I was 32, and I was thinking 2, 3, 4 years. It depends how long my body will be at that level. I wanted really to finish my career at Rangers because that was all about,
Yeah.
Never considered to go away from Rangers. I felt great. Everything was really perfect for me there.
Yeah.
I settled in a great way. But of course, I said to him, Gaffer, honestly, now we're still lots to play, still the league to play, still the Scottish Cup final to play yet. So I said to him, honestly, I will finish the season and I will think when I go back home, like take a week off completely, then I will make a decision. And then, of course, the league came and we dropped a few points, drawing few games there, and then that dramatic last game of the season. But we managed to win the league in a great style, I have to say, because against Dunfermline we performed in a fantastic way. without leaving no even a drop of energy in our body. That game was a tough game, but we managed. And plus, of course, there was after a week the Scottish Cup final against Dundee, which was a difficult team to play against. Very tough, very physical, difficult to play because they were really at it. And against them, you knew that you couldn't play well. They were really chasing everything and everybody. And during the league, we won against them, but we didn't really play well. So we knew that final could have been a tougher one, really tough. And that's the way it was. But I was the only one to manage to score a goal from a fantastic delivery, free kick from Neil McCann. I had a fantastic header anticipating the goalkeeper. We won that Scottish Cup final, which was meaning also for us treble again, because my time at Rangers in 6 years has been 2 treble, which is not as common things actually.
Yeah.
No many players can say our Rangers won 2 treble in that short period.
Yeah.
So while we were celebrating, honestly, I got named the man of the match as well. So through the dialogue with Alec McLeish, came through my head at the end of that game, and of course, treble, winning the man of the match, of course, goal scorer. I started to cry because I said, if I really need to go, because there are problems here. I think in some way someone is trying to say something to me, because that was the perfect ending, like a dream, to say thank you very much to everyone for what the supporters, the Ranger people gave to me. That was the perfect way to go away. And so I started to cry. In fact, my teammates as well, they would say, why, Lorenzo, are you leaving? Are you really leaving? And I said, no, guys, I've got no idea yet. But, that was a very emotional day. In fact, I signed with Blackburn a month and a half later. But it was really, really, really strange, very emotional. I knew that part of my life there was basically gone. In a great style, but still it was gone, because I knew the Rangers were not rolling to give me another contract. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could have stayed there. Because I had 1 year left in Rangers contract. That's what Alex said to me, Lorenzo, if you want to stay, you stay. I will be fucking delighted to have you here, But in 1 year time, you know what's going to happen. Nobody knows. So if you have a chance to send a new contract, 2-3 years, whatever it's going to be, just take the chance. That's the only advice I can give to you as an older brother. And that was the situation, basically.
So did everything kind of turn again in a good kind of way when Alex McLeish came in? What was like the big difference, do you think, between Dick Avricat's style and like for the rest of the team as well? Like, because everything kind of seemed to start picking up, after Alex kind of came in.
It was just a matter of talking with the player. The way he was talking, the way he was giving confidence back, trust, most of all, to the players. Because what Advocat didn't do was he was taking away confidence from the team. He was not giving trust to the players. Those rules, for example, they were absolutely removed as soon Alec came. Don't get me wrong. There were other rules, but there were rules that there are normal rules. You need to be there on time. You need to respect wherever the situation is. There are rules. There must be rules. That's for sure. In a team, you must have rules. But there were rules that everyone was keen to accept because they were understandable. But most of all, what Alec did was, well, first of all, giving us back what the confidence was missing, because I think there were players, myself as well, we were not really performing. We were just, sometimes it was quite even difficult to say, oh, I need to go training today. Oh my God, that's awful. We do the best job, wherever, the best activity in the world. Just thinking about, oh, I'm going to fucking train today is not good. No good. I mean, probably that one has been the worst mentally. That was my worst period of my career, because you knew that you were going through a phase where you hate anything there, and that was no good. Don't get me wrong, it was not just a personal feeling, because after years I've been chatting with ladies from the in Ibrox, where we used to eat, the training ground, all the people around, they were feeling exactly the same. That means that probably, because the rules, they were for us, they were also for those people working at Ibrox or at the training ground. So there were stupid rules which no one really liked. Alec came in and using different rules, respect what was for anyone, but of course keeping a good distance. Just thinking about, I was in Italy because due to Green Band, it was November, more or less. I think it was, Alec was appointed in November, if I don't get wrong. And I had one game ban. In that period, we used to play so many games. Because I had basically one weekend off, I said to Advocate, I couldn't see my family for a long time. I said to him from the summer, I believe. So I said, listen, I'm going to Italy for a couple of days, 3-4 days. That's it, nothing else. He said, yeah, okay, no problem. You're not going to play the weekend, so go there for the weekend. I go there for the weekend. That was like Tuesday, probably, more or less. I go there, and the very next day, or maybe a couple of days after, I got this phone call from a British number, which I didn't know. And say, hello, who's talking? I thought it was a journalist or whatever, you know. Said, hi, Lorenzo, it's Alex McLeish, your manager here. Say, what the fuck is this? It's a joke. Who's talking about? Lorenzo, is Alex McLeish, your Ranger manager here. And I said, okay, guys, don't take the piss. Fucking, I'm in Italy here, taking a wee break with my family, please. And then I started to listen. Alec really was getting angry, saying, Lorenzo, fuck's sake, it's Alex McLeish here. You're really new manager here. So I started to understand it was this really manager. Say, sorry, Gava, but I thought it was a joke. So, no. And of course, he said to me, yo, I know you're there with your family. Take care, stay there for a couple of days. But Saturday, we're going to play home again. Sorry, away in Motherwell. Although you are suspended, I would like to see you go there, come in the dressing room, stay there with us, and then, of course, watching the game from the stand. I said, right, why not? That's no problem whatsoever. So basically, I came there we played on Sunday, sorry, not the Saturday. I came there the Sunday morning. I joined the team. I went to that was the way Alec was dealing with players. I don't remember any phone call from Advocate in 3.5 years, for example. No one. Not even after he left, or not even after we retired or whatever. He never really explained why he took the armband away from me. That's something that I will never forget and will never forgive, to be fair. That was a big difference. Beside all the tactical and physical training and things like that, because I believe that Advocate is not stupid. His career speaks for him. He's not a stupid manager. The way he was, the human being relation with the players, then a lot of things to change, in my opinion, at that time.
Yeah. So a month after Alex McLeish kind of came in, just over a month, he's were up at Aberdeen at Pittodrie, and the game something happened between the fans. I think it was a coin struck an Aberdeen player, but I always remember you going over and trying to calm the fans down. Had you ever experienced anything like that? Because I remember watching that game, and I must have been about 10, and I was thinking, what is he doing?
Yeah, I know, but considering that I never saw the supporters in Glasgow or in Scotland really get so angry and upset. Honestly, I wasn't happy to watch them throwing anything, because they were throwing seeds, they were breaking seeds and throwing theirs, anything they had in their hands. And for us was not really good, because we were trying to win the league that season.
Yeah,
And I thought, if the game is going to be suspended, maybe everything can be worse for us. So
yeah,
I tried to go under them, our own supporter, and try to calm
yeah,
them down, because we had everything to lose in that game.
yeah,
And eventually, in some ways, some of the supporters understood me, and
yeah,
they really calmed down in some ways. But while I was trying to speak with them, the referee decided to suspend the game, and I think the game was suspended for half an hour or something.
yeah,
It was, I don't know, at that time was not anymore the captain of the team, but
yeah,
as I said before, I didn't really need the armband
yeah,
to act as a captain, because I feel responsible in any case, whatever I do. I've never been a selfish player. I've never been a
yeah,
selfish person. I like to share my experience, my knowledge with the people around me. If I can help anyone, I'll do it.
yeah,
That's the way I am. I don't know if it is a good thing, because many times I've been thinking, well, Lorenzo, you know what? You have done just for yourself. Probably it was better, But after so many years, I said to myself, when I do that, when I help people, when I help my teammates, say, for example, people like Gabriel Amato, Claudio Caniggia, Mikel Arteta, they couldn't speak a word of English. And
yeah,
because I speak Spanish, for me, it was normal to help them to speak with the manager, with the teammates, and all the things until they were getting there. It was easy for me. It was
yeah.
normal. I don't know how many other players would have done that.
No,
And to be fair, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking for a thank you for anyone. I don't care. That's something you do because you feel it. That's it.
yeah,
But it's part of my life. I've always been that way, and always will be. Those things will never change.
yeah. Do you remember who scored the goal in that game?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was
Funny
a
goal, but
beauty. It
oh
was a
yeah,
beauty, wasn't it?
probably the best goal of my career. Actually, I have to say, because it was an unbelievable strike, left foot, coming
Yeah,
off from it, dribbling on the middle of the park. Honestly, kicking this fantastic shot right through the corner there. It was absolutely unbelievable. Top
yeah.
corner, left foot.
Aye,
Something really spectacular
yeah,
that especially after what happened there with the
yeah,
supporters. I think it was really absolutely fantastic. Yeah,
yeah.
great achievement.
That was a superb goal. I was just watching that one back the other night as well. It brought back a few memories. I think it was that season you were voted the Scottish Players Football Association Players Player of the Year.
That's right, which I'm so proud of it, because as a defender, it's not easy to get that kind of award. Is very difficult. Normally, strikers, midfielders, they get that kind of important trophy,
Yeah,
and to get named from all the other players of that league,
yeah,
it's really special. I'm so proud of it. Honestly, so proud, because it's already difficult to get it, but when you get this nomination from your own teammates, and of course team from team from players from other teams,
yeah,
it's special. It's
yeah,
special. That means that they know that you've been a good player. You've been playing very, very high level that season,
yeah.
and that you gain respect from other players doing that, and that was a fantastic achievement for me. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially as you were saying, being a defender don't usually get all
Absolutely.
the glory. So, I think that speaks for itself what your professional players who are coming up against thought of you. But as we were speaking about a bit earlier, you ended up leaving for Blackburn. You spent 3 seasons there. How do you look back on your time at Blackburn?
Uh, well, really, it's not been easy down there.
Yeah,
I had a few injury, but that didn't really stop me much. The worst problem was that the relationship with Mark Hughes, most of all, because the beginning with soon as everything was going well, I got this injury. Of course, the team was not doing well. I got this operation done. When I came back from the operation, the team was not really in a great situation. We were in relegation zone, but I came back and we managed to get saved without no problem. And I still remember an interview from Sunes saying, "Well, we are happy, we are safe, but the comeback of Lorenzo made such a big difference because Lorenzo is a proper defender. Lorenzo is someone who gave us something more than the back, and because he can really make the action, but at the same time, he's a good defender. He knows how to defend, and that I was really proud of what he was saying because it's not a common thing from a manager to say, especially when you're talking about a single player.
yeah,
Of course, Souness decided to go away and went to Newcastle, and Mark Hughes came in. And while he came in, I played for him, of course. But of course, again, the injury came through, and of course I stayed out for months, not much, couple of months maybe.
yeah,
When I came back, there was no place anymore for me there.
yeah,
There was no place for me there. The team was doing well, I have to say, and that's why I said to him, "Listen, I had a chance to go away in the summer. I said to him, listen, I can go. I can go. Sorry, what summer? It was almost in January. Yeah, the winter market. And I said to him, listen, if you don't need me, I can go. Give me a chance to play because at least I'm the age of 35. I can go and play 1-2 years. I don't know. I know there were a couple of teams that were looking for me. Southampton was one of them. One of them, Leeds, was another one. So I had a chance to go there and eventually play for 1-2 seasons. And he said to me, no, Lorenzo, don't you worry. No, I need you here. Although you're not playing, I need you here for experience, blah, 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 blah. What happened was he brought me on the bench for a couple of games till basically the winter market finished.
yeah,
And since after that, he started to send me on the stand. And then I said, what the fuck is going on here? And I
yeah,
tried to speak to him. He is a person who doesn't really speak much at all.
yeah,
So I said, why are you doing this to me? And I said, what's wrong? Tell me why. Why these things happening? No, Lorenzo, it's just because I think other players, you need to have some friendlies game before you get match fitness, blah, 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 all this stupid excuse,
yeah,
whatever. I never played by the end of the season. In the summer, what happened was I got a phone call from the chief executive there saying, Lorenzo, we would like to get an agreement with you and solve the contract, I said, what? I said, no, listen, I had the chance to go away, and you know it. I said, because he was involved in that things in last January. And I said, you know it, what the situation. And the manager said to me, you will play, blah, 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 blah. Now you're me asking to cut me the wages that I should get because we signed a contract 3 years ago and whatever. And now I said, listen, the way he's been treating me is absolutely crazy. It's not
yeah,
right. So if you want me to go, give me all the money and then I'll go for free. No, don't
yeah,
worry, but give me all the money that you need to give to me because it's been really unrespectful what you did to me. I could have gone in January, wherever. Basically, he never done that, never spoke to me anymore. I told him once, I said, listen, I'm not coming with you anymore. I'm going because if you need me at home, When I'm home, then I stay. Away home to come over there and stay always in the stand is not good for me, not good for you. At least I'll go play with the reserve team. And that's what I did, basically.
Yeah.
He didn't say a word. So I played basically the reserve match just to keep myself fitness in a good way. And that's it. That's what I did. Don't get me wrong. I don't like those kind of managers. I don't like this kind of managers. Those managers are hiding behind the problems, things. Now, you need to be. My view to be a good manager is to speak free, face to face. If you don't like a player, you tell him. If you like him, you tell him. You show to keep players together. You need to be really, how do you say, reliable. You can't really say one thing and do another thing. It's because sooner or later the players will understand that and they will take an advantage. So that was something I didn't really like about him. That's it.
Yeah. So, when you were playing in the Premier League, what was the kind of standard like compared to the Scottish League at that time?
Well, England was getting bigger at that time. Getting bigger. It was not like today, but important players started to get. At that time, I think Italian football was still the best yet.
Yeah.
But very important players started to move down in England. People like Cristiano Ronaldo and a few others starting to move in Britain, in Great Britain, in England. And you could see, you could feel the level, the players was getting better and better. Every Saturday there was difficult team to play against. It was normal then. In fact, after a few years, England became the best league in the world. It's still that way. So you could tell. Don't get me wrong. In Scotland, at my time, Rangers and Celtic were absolutely unbelievable team because the players we had, Rangers especially, they were absolutely unbelievable. We could have played in England without no problem. But of course, this move has never been done down there for so many reasons. That's the way it is. So far, I still think that if Rangers will go down in England sooner or later, it will become even a bigger team all over the world because that's the way Rangers are. And to be fair, also Celtic. But the difference was that big players started to go in England. Other way around in Scotland, without David Murray, especially Rangers couldn't really afford any more good players, big names. And of course, the level from the foreign side of view was getting lower and lower. That was the big difference.
Yeah. So you ended up becoming a scout for Fiorentina. How did that all come about? And could you tell everybody that's listening what that involves?
Well, basically, I took all my badges as a manager, as a sports director as well. I got this phone call basically from the director at that time of Fiorentina, tried to help him in scouting players and things like that. And that's what I've done. 80 players there, 80, no one. All, proved that it could be potential good players for Fiorentina. He never got one for me. Never. Never exactly. Got one. No one. So I said, all right, maybe I'm not good enough to this work, but I don't think either you suit me as a work. I don't need to work for a person who does everything for himself. Don't get me wrong. I learned so many good things under this kind of work. But if you get the feeling that you're working for somebody else, just for him and not for you, then it's something I don't really like. That's why I said, okay, enough. That's me. Bye-bye. See you later.
Yeah. So
luckily, I found out that, the time told me that few of those players, actually many of those players that I was proposing to Fiorentina, they became a very, very, very important players. So that convinced me that I could really stand in this world doing all for also the chief scout without no.
You said that they didn't take you up on any of your offers, and you learnt that some of them went on to kind of become players. Do you remember any names?
There are plenty names there. There are players like De Bruyne. There are players like Callejon. There are players Ruiz. There are so many players there. Honestly, I think at the least it could be 15, 20 players, which at the time I mentioned, and for some reasons you didn't get it. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Just going back and having a wee look over your career, who do you think was the toughest opponent you ever faced?
I was very lucky to play against so many unbelievable players, to be fair. I was lucky to face also Maradona, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. My debut 16 and a half with Bari, we played against Napoli in Italian Cup, against Napoli at home. So Maradona was there. But if I wasn't really playing regularly, I was very young at that age. But, Ronaldo da Lima, the guy who used to play for Barcelona and for Inter Milan,
Yeah.
I think he's been the tougher opponent for sure. He was absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, that's right.
He was, wasn't he? Could do it. And I was watching some videos of him the other night, actually, and some of the football fields that you used to hit back then, they weren't as great as they are now. And he could still do everything that, Messi and Ronaldo nowadays can do. It was incredible. So, as you said, like when you were playing with Barry, I think it was, I noticed this more. You could thump a ball home for free kicks. It was incredible. When did you realise you could do that?
To be fair, quite young actually, because I wasn't really a defender when I started to play. I used to play midfield, and I used to score a lot of goals. In fact, I joined Bari as a midfielder, actually holding midfielder.
Yeah.
But I used to play there. Then through the development way to become a professional footballer, where at the age of 16 more or less, 16, just before my debut, with the reserve team, basically, we went for a tournament. And just before the tournament start, the two central half actually during the training, they collapsed each other and they were out of the game.
Yeah.
So the manager said to me, Lorenzo, you need to play central half tomorrow. I said, what? I said, Lorenzo, I've got no one, we got fucking butt injury and you need to play there. And of course, I was not really happy.
No.
Not really happy. The game didn't go well at all because we lost 2-0, as far as I remember, 2-1, 2-0, something like that. And I didn't think I really had a good game at all. And, straight after the game, actually, the manager came to me and said, I know what you're thinking. I know that you think that you've been not very good today, but I can tell you, you're going to play there from now on. I said, what?
Yeah.
I don't want to play there. He said, I know you made a few mistakes today, but that's your role from now on. I trust you there. I think you there, you can make a difference. And to be fair, I wasn't happy for at least a month. At least I was not really happy.
Yeah.
But I have to say, he could really see me there previous. And of course, that made my career, basically. I become a professional footballer as a defender, a centre half. So, as I said, that kind of quality to shoot from distance was coming from youth age. Since then, I used to score goals from big distance as well. And it's something that I always took with me. So it's something that I really like. Trying, because when you shoot from that distance, you know that you're not going to score all the time. You can have a pop and take a top corner, or the ball can go in the stand, and you know that you're going to get abuse from the supporters, but who cares? I mean, I don't care. When you do that for your own team, because you know that you got this quality, you can use it, you got the chance, you try. If it goes well, 1-0 up. If it goes well, not well, 0-0. But you got nothing to lose. What? I need to get just impressed because the supporters started to boo me. I don't care. To be fair, that was the way I was thinking.
That's probably what you need, though, to get to the level you've been at. You need to just block out everybody around about you and just focus on the game.
That's right.
Yeah. So you scored a few goals against Celtic, but what's the roar like when you get that ball in against them, especially at Ibrox?
Well, it's a special feeling. Special feeling. Already winning against them is a special feeling because you know that you're gonna have the whole week people happy with a big smile on their face. You're gonna see definitely in town much more blue top than red than green top. So scoring it's a piece of history there. Scoring against them, as I said, for the defender is even more important because it doesn't really happen every Saturday. So it is a piece of stone there that nobody can really take away from you and from the history of the club as well.
Yeah,
something
absolutely.
Really special.
Do you have a favourite goal that you scored?
I scored actually a few lovely goals, to be fair. Very nice. But as I said before, the best goal probably I scored against Aberdeen. That one, it's unique. Left peg as well. So
I was just about to say that. That's your weak foot, isn't it?
It's absolutely stunning goal, absolutely.
So you're a defender, obviously, and you could header the ball pretty much. But see, over the past couple of months in Scotland, the footballing authorities have banned kids heading the ball due to the risks of your longer term health. Do you think that, was there ever a time that you headed the ball and you kind of thought, why did I do that? Because I've done it a few times when I was younger, and I could feel as if I was like, oh no, I've got a set head now. Why did I do that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think it's about how you do it. You're growing, you're learning, you're training yourself to do that. It's about neck things. When you're hitting the ball with your head, your neck is going to be rigid. It can be hard. It can be soft. You get soft, you're going to feel sore, pain. Maybe the beginning, of course, you will feel it because you don't know how to do it. But then you get used to it. Plus, it was for me, it was special. Hitting the ball with my head, it was something that I really liked so much because I felt great. I felt up there, going up there and hitting the ball above everyone. It was something make me feel stronger. What might give me a lot of confidence. So I used to get feeding from that kind of things. And I think to be fair, you need to have also a good coach to learn how to hit the ball properly with your head. Because if you hit the ball, especially in the beginning with the side here, you're going to feel pain, definitely. Normally, the ball should be hit here, right, from the front head. Front head is very hard. You're not going to feel any pain there. And when you get used to it, then it will come automatically. But in the beginning, especially, you need to be well trained and you need to put a bit of attention in anything you do. But as I said, most of the time, you need a very good coach there who train you in the right way in the right moment.
Yeah. So you got inducted into the Hall of Fame. How was that for you personally? I think that happened in 2010.
Yes, become one of the legends of Rangers. It's a great achievement for anyone. It's a great achievement especially for a foreign player, I believe. Honestly, I think I'm very, very proud of it. Well, it's honestly, it's here. You can see he's always with me. You can see it's right behind me. That's the fantastic achievement I got.
Wow.
to be absolutely Rangers Football Club legend.
Yeah. And there for the whole of history.
Sorry?
In there for all of history.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But reading also the whole names that are there in that list, it's a privilege. Honestly, it's a privilege because you know you are part of something special, something that will be there forever. Kids just born 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they go to Ibrox and they say, "Who are those names?" And their dads, they will tell them, you know, those are the best player Rangers had. And I am one of them, so I'm so proud of it. Absolutely. Great, fantastic achievement.
Your name's up above the kind of marble staircase, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's superb. So kind of going back to you, when you said you captained the team to the treble, you were one of only 6 former captains to do it, although John Gregg done it twice. That's like a massive achievement. And I think you were the first kind of foreign player to do that as well.
Yeah, I think you starting to appreciate more when you away from it. I mean, what I'm trying to say that, yeah, we were celebrating, we knew we wanted the treble twice, but after, especially after what happened to Rangers, you know, go relegated, blah, 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 then that thing we did is getting even a bigger value because at that time, don't get me wrong, it was not easy. But in my mind, there was the idea that Rangers could get other players, younger players, stronger players, and eventually get back at their level when I left, basically. But then what happened after, you know, then everything we did, that my time, 6 years, is something that I don't know, really. Thinking now, I don't know if we're really going to see another unbelievable team like I played for, like that. That's such great players. I mean, thinking about just the player were there, Barry Ferguson, myself, Arthur Newman, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, Claudio Reina, two guy, Ronald De Boer, there are George Alberts. There are
so many world-class players.
So many unbelievable. Fernando Rixen, Craig Moore, Jesus Christ. I mean, Rod Wallace, Arteta. Honestly, there are so many unbelievable names there. If you're thinking about it, say Claudio Caniggia, Jesus Christ. Torre Andreflo, you know, you say, what the fuck? What a team it was.
I know.
And on those days, I'll bet if you ask it to any Rangers supporter club, if they really think another team like that will come back, I don't think anyone will say, well, yeah, I'm sure. Well, we hope, of course, we hope that sooner or later Rangers will become again a fantastic team. But no one has definitely the idea when and if really will happen. So it's crazy, but going away from Ibrox, from Rangers, and of course after the failure of Rangers for so many reasons, whatever, then you realize that what we did there, it's a massive thing, especially because we've done the treble twice, and that's something unbelievable, really unbelievable.
Absolutely. And just kind of, have you seen many Rangers games of recent times?
Not really much, because in Italy used to be a channel where I could see the game. Sometimes I used to watch it if I wasn't working. Some other I don't. Then plus there was a YouTube, the Facebook, whatever channel where sometimes I used to watch the game, but then for the rights or whatever. It's been deleted, so I couldn't watch it anymore. So no, I really didn't watch many games.
No.
I couldn't. It was almost impossible. I'll probably watching 3-4 games, no more.
Yeah. Have you seen Alfredo Morelos?
Yeah, I've seen Morelos is one of the oldest in this team at the moment. Is that 3 years already now down the line? That's what I remember. Yeah.
Is there? Do you know? Is he spoken about in Italy a lot? Because over here, he was kind of linked with moves in the summer. But
in Bologna.
Yeah.
At Bologna. Yeah, well, I think there been an inquiry probably on him, but officially, I don't think it was anything. You know, Morelos is a good player. That's for sure. He can treat the ball. He can score a goal. He can move. I think what made him be a target from the other team was his behavior on the field.
Yeah.
It was too easy to provocate.
Yeah.
It was very easy. And on those days, the players, they like those kind of things because you need nothing. You just go there, you give him a big elbow or a neck or whatever. He goes mad, kick you and gets red carded. That's it. It's easy.
Yeah.
And he done too many times these stupid things. Too many times. And he left the team in the shit a few times.
Yeah.
But as a football player, I have to say, very good player. He knows how to be and where to be, the right moment, the right time to score goals, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And would he have been a player you would have liked to have come up against? Because sometimes he gives the defenders quite a battle.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I really like to face any good strikers. Doesn't matter who. So, yeah, why not? Why not? It would have been a good challenge for me as well, absolutely.
Yeah. It would have been an interesting...
Remember, you don't defend on your own. You defend as a team.
Yeah, that's it.
You defend your own partners there, in my case, the lineup, plus the two midfielders as a team as well. So when you're talking about the defending, it's all about team defending, not just the defenders. That's it.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen that battle with you and Alfredo. It would have been really interesting. But anyway, I think that's everything tonight. So a big thank you to yourself for coming on and joining us.
No problem, my friend.